Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here for another week of This Week in Pro Wrestling, and this time Mr. Jeffrey Harris is live from Las Vegas, the site of 2021 SummerSlam. Jeffrey, what's going on in the Sin City?
Well, it's hotter than hell right now. It's probably close to 100 degrees, but I'm finally out of Los Angeles for the first time in over 2 years. So give and take. I'm very happy right now, and I'm in a good mood. I just got into Vegas. I passed Allegiant Stadium on my way in. This was the first time I saw it in person. So I am so excited, and I will be covering SummerSlam live tomorrow for 411mania.com. So I will be doing weekend coverage for 411mania.com/wrestling and live tweets at 411 Wrestling. So be on the lookout for that. I am credential media, so I am told I will be in the press box for tomorrow during SummerSlam. It'll be a bit of a new experience for me. This is a very sort of surreal moment for me to be credentialed for an event like this, but it happened, and I will be there tomorrow. I can confirm.
Awesome. So how does that work for you? So they're going to put you in the press box, like the actual press box?
Yes.
Normal seat?
Yes. I don't know where. You see, this is all new. See, I've never been to Allegiant Stadium before. This is my first real time being credentialed by the WWE, at least, in this era of sorts. So I don't know where the press box is going to be or where we're going to be situated. I do know we won't be allowed to leave the press box once we get seated there, wherever it is.
So no restroom breaks, no water. No
I've got my water here, and believe me, you need water right now in Vegas. You need to stay hydrated because it is a very dry heat out here. So staying hydrated is very important. So I will be bringing my water. I would assume there's got to be a way to go to the bathroom during the event because it may not.
You may be holding on to that way to go to the bathroom while you're
If
at the
I
press
have
box.
if I have to, die for your art and everything. This is our art, is it not, Mike? But it's very exciting. I'm very happy I could be here and do this show with you right now.
I had to put
I'm
this up.
live in Las Vegas for SummerSlam, and
I had to put that up.
Thank you, Bunda. Thank you, Bunda. But listen, Mike. I'm sorry you couldn't be here with us, and I'm sorry you can't be in Vegas. This is sort of a double trip for me between SummerSlam and CinemaCon. Right after SummerSlam will be CinemaCon. But Mike, you are with me in spirit, and I am taking your hopes and dreams with me to SummerSlam tomorrow. So,
well, you know what? With this world of digital and the digital format, it allows me to be over there and be over here while you're in Vegas getting ready for SummerSlam. So,
yes.
did you see the message that I sent you earlier today? Matt Cardona is defending the GWC title in Vegas tonight. Yeah, GCW.
Yeah. So where is that event here in Vegas?
It's in Vegas.
Okay, that I mean, I knew he was the GCW champion, and he has the GCW title now. I didn't know he was actually going to be defending it tonight at a GC. So I'm looking at that now.
So you're gonna try and get some tickets?
I don't know, because once I'm done here, I would like to go over to the MGM and check out the SummerSlam Superstore and see what's going on there. Perhaps get some good photos and do some coverage for the site for that first and foremost. This isn't. I am on the clock, so to speak. This weekend, so I want to do as much SummerSlam focused coverage as possible. So my next stop after this would likely be the SummerSlam Superstore in MGM, and see what's going on there.
And just one more time before we go into the full topics and what we're talking about this week, where can they see your live coverage and when it goes up?
411mania.com. So go to 411mania.com, check out the wrestling section, which is 411mania.com/wrestling, and be out on the lookout for live tweets at 411 Wrestling, and also my own Twitter account, which is at WillJack83.
Awesome. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about tomorrow's big event, the big party of the summer, SummerSlam 2021. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. The whole reason why Jeffrey's there.
That is a
Talk about it.
stadium. That is a stadium. It is a bonsai, huge stadium. You know, I can't really even put it into words. Like, you've seen big stadiums before, and this is bigger. It is. I passed it on the way into my hotel, and it is jaw dropping. It is definitely. It looks like something out of a sci-fi film, basically.
So does
But
it look
yeah,
like does it still look like a giant Roomba?
I guess, but it's like the biggest Roomba. It's like the biggest Roomba in creation, basically.
Yeah,
But yes,
I heard it's a really nice facility.
it looks state of the art. It looks amazing. So we have a 10-match card this weekend, Mike, and now this is a 3-hour card. So we'll have 3 hours on the main card plus 1 hour for the pre-show kickoff. So 10 matches. I gotta imagine at least a couple of those matches are going to be on the kickoff, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Probably 1 or 2 will probably be in the kickoff.
Okay, so looking at this 10 matches on this card, a lot of title matches. We got John Cena, Roman Reigns, but between the two brands, Raw and SmackDown, who do you think has the better lineup of talent on the card?
Oh, SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Okay, so I guess we'll just start from the bottom and go from the top from what we have here. So for the Raw Tag Team titles, we have AJ Styles and Omos, the champions, defending against RK Bro, Randy Orton and Riddle, who they've somewhat been able to come together, and they're going to challenge for these titles. So it's Orton and Riddle trying to wrest the Raw tag belts from AJ Styles and Omos, who won the belts at WrestleMania. So they managed to hold on to the titles since WrestleMania. Are we going to see a title change here, Mike?
I think so. I don't know. It feels like it's set up for a title change, and that's what I got off of the feeling watching Monday Night Raw this week. Is that it feels like that?
It definitely feels that way. It feels like Orton and Riddle, they kind of teased the tension and the dissent between the two. Now they've kind of tenuously come together. I think they're going to win the titles. I think they're going to hold on to the titles for a little bit, and then I think they'll eventually split, but it'll come later.
Yeah, exactly. And we got a first comment about wrestling today.
By
Bunda.
RKO
has to win, otherwise
our loyal viewer.
Yeah, RKO has to win. Otherwise, what's been the point of this? And I agree with Bunda on that one. That is exactly the point, and I agree with him 100%.
Yeah, I think it's going to be RK Bro. And I think if we see one title change tomorrow, it's going to be RK Bro more than anything, just because AJ Styles and Omos, I mean, they were a makeshift team already. AJ is a singles guy. He got paired with Omos to kind of help Omos and give Omos experience, give him time to develop, because he was very green when he came in. And I'm sure they want to do more with Omos later on. But if they do more with Omos, they're going to try to make him their new big man attraction, because look, they don't have a lot of guys like that right now. They got rid of Braun Strowman. So Omos is kind of like that new, really big super heavyweight featured attraction for the roster. And, they don't have Lesnar either. So, yeah, exactly. I think that's what's going to happen for both those guys. So that is the Raw Tag Team titles. Obviously, this is going to be the best match on the card. I think everyone would agree. I think Robert Garcia would agree. And I think Bunda would agree. And I think you would agree, Mike. It is the match of the century. Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie.
Oh, God. But before we go into that, Jeffrey, Robert made a comment for you. Hey, Jeffrey, is the event full capacity? If so, is it sold out?
Let's see. Last I heard, 42,000 tickets were sold.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not a sellout, it'll be close to a sellout. So hold on.
For the capacity and the configuration that they're setting up for this event,
I think the capacity was around 40,000. I don't know if they opened it up for more seats though.
Yeah.
And some of those early ticket sales could have been secondary market, like scalpers. 42,000 tickets. So like maybe several thousand of those could be papered or could be, unsold tickets. So let's see. This is from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. No, this is not for SummerSlam. I'm just trying to get a ticket update. But last I heard, so if it's 42,000, it will be very close to a sellout. But I just want to make sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cause I know they're reconfiguring the stadium for this year's SummerSlam. It isn't going to be like a WrestleMania.
Okay, here we go. This is from Wrestling Observer newsletter. According to Dave Meltzer with the Observer, it is going to be the largest non-WrestleMania gate in WWE history. At this time, there are 42,883 tickets out for the show. 5,772 tickets are available on the secondary market with a $23 get-in price. So apparently, tickets are still available. And if you're in Vegas and you want to get in, just to go, $23. $23 to get in. So there you go. But that's going to be the cheapest. That's going to be the cheapest seats.
Yeah. So, and let's get back into the topic, which is Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie.
Yes, that's the best match of the year, right?
In that matchup. So Bunda, we're already getting the comments in. I love Eva Marie. Girl is smoking hot.
I'm sure Vince McMahon would agree.
Exactly. That's the reason why she's on the card. But I don't know. For when it comes down and we're breaking down this match, it's you know what it is? I just don't like Alexa Bliss's character still. And I don't know when they're gonna end this. Is this gonna be what ends it or what?
I don't know where they're going with it with Alexa Bliss. Who is even the babyface here? Because I can't really consider Alexa with her actions a babyface. And Eva Marie is definitely not a babyface.
Yeah, I don't think
so
at all.
And then you have the whole Lily the doll thing. This is so weird because this character with Alexa Bliss started with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And it transferred over to Alexa because like The Fiend abducted Alexa and like brainwashed her. And now Alexa has all the dark powers. And then they fired Bray Wyatt. So we're never going to see The Fiend again or Bray Wyatt again for a while. So I don't know I really don't get how we got here and where they're going to go with it and how they're going to finish it. I do think Alexa Bliss is going to win, and it will continue causing dissension between Piper Niven. I'm not going to say what WWE calls her.
Dewdrop.
I'm not going to say it. Piper Niven. It will continue the dissent between Piper Niven and Eva Marie, and that's what's going to happen. But I think Alexa Bliss will win.
Well, even with Eva Marie's character, when she returned, they switched that up at the last minute as well. Because
because it seemed like they were going to bring her in as like this plucky underdog babyface, you know?
Yeah.
So is that what you're referring to?
Yes, exactly. And it looked like they were going to have Eva Marie as a babyface, but with we're getting comments that Dewdrop is the babyface.
All right, are we still?
True. That's
sorry,
true.
I'm on a Wi-Fi connection. If we have some technical issues, the woman, the wrestler's name is Piper Niven, but they call her something else on the Raw roster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dewdrop. I don't
and
like
to think, and to think, and to think, we're just minutes away from a very huge show on the TNT network with AEW. A lot of buzz going on that show tonight. So after we're done here, you can stay tuned for AEW Rampage.
Yeah, because SmackDown, if you're lucky enough to get the East Coast feed, and hopefully you don't leave us, SmackDown is
on right now. Yeah. Not on the West Coast though. You have to wait until 8:00.
Right.
Let's see. So next up, Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. The 3MB members collide. So, in case anyone doesn't know, back in the day, Drew McIntyre was a singles guy early on in his WWE career. He was dubbed the Chosen One by Vince McMahon, kind of petered out. Then went into jobber purgatory with 3MB, which was Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, and Heath Slater. Both those guys got released from WWE. Jinder Mahal came back, got huge and really ripped. Drew McIntyre came back, got huge and really ripped. Jinder Mahal became a WWE World Champion. Drew McIntyre became a WWE Champion, and now they're colliding in this feud. And what else? Jinder stole his sword. Unless they're going to continue this feud, I think Drew McIntyre is going to win and get his sword back.
Yeah, I
the
agree
stipulation
too.
is Jinder's toadies, Veer and Shanky, are banned from ringside. So I'm expecting Drew McIntyre to win, unless they really want to drag this out, which they could, because everything in WWE gets dragged out and it's the same matches every week. But I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre.
I think so too. I think the Jinder Mahal thing is just a step. It's a next step, and then they're going to have it do something else with Jinder, because he's not a bad wrestler. He's. I mean, he was a former world champion, but I agree with the comments. I think Drew's going to win, and I also think you know what, bringing in a comment from Bunda, if it wasn't for Drew's accent, he'd be a megastar, and I kind of agree with him because I think Drew McIntyre.
What's wrong with his accent?
Well, I think sometimes they don't. It's hard to understand him sometimes when he's talking really quick.
I think the problem is that he carries around a sword, which is ridiculous, and he has to cut Vince's stupid promos.
Yeah,
I think that's.
And to be honest, I think Drew could be a really big star. And I mean, he was a big star. If it wasn't for him through what happened last year, I mean, who knows where WWE and Raw would be?
I mean, Mike, I don't think WWE wants anyone to become a megastar, and the closest we've come in the last 5 years is probably Becky Lynch.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think Drew's accent is the problem. So I can't disagree. Oh, so we have more people coming in. We have Nathan Rita. Thank you, Nathan, for joining us. We're previewing the SummerSlam 2021 card. I am live in Las Vegas, and I will be covering the event live for 411mania.com tomorrow. So we are breaking down the card now. So that was Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. Okay, next title match. Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the U.S. title. Now, personally, it wouldn't surprise me if either guy won here. I'm kind of on a toss-up 50-50 with this. I could see this feud continuing for a little bit, where Damian comes up short this time, but maybe gets a rematch for the title next month.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm leaning towards Sheamus. I'm going to pick Sheamus, but what do you think?
I don't think it's going to be Sheamus. I actually think it's going to be I think we're going to get a change here, because I think Damian Priest is set up right now for him to win the belt.
I would like the title change, and I would like to see Damian Priest get a new belt, his first belt on the main roster. He's done well. He's played his role well, as much as can be expected of a guy from NXT going to the main roster these days. You know, we saw what happened, or what's happening to Karrion Kross right now, and what's happening to Keith Lee. Who else? Toni Storm. Where's Toni Storm on SmackDown? They had her debut, and now she's totally MIA. So, all things considered, Priest has done all right since moving to the main roster.
Exactly. And let's get into the comments a little bit, because we've got a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah. What do we have going on?
First of all, we got a little hello. Can you do super chats on here? And I go, yes. So you could definitely do super chats. And that's from Fred Willard. I'm going to bring in another Fred Willard comment for you, Jeffrey. Will Jeffrey be drunk commenting and bashing writers on other sites?
No.
Because Villain1316 likes to trash comment and on other people's sites. And I could literally answer that. No, Jeffrey is not going to do that. Jeffrey is a respectable journalist, and he's going to be there to work and do his thing.
I wonder if this Fred is trying to troll me here.
I don't know, but hey,
No,
Why don't
well,
you
no,
do?
the answer is no, Fred. I won't be drinking alcohol at the event, and I will not be doing that.
But if
So
you'd
no.
love to give us super chats, we definitely will accept them, and we're happy. That's the way we are able to continue and grow and build this channel. So definitely,
Bunda says I'm blah on this match. P break. No, I think Sheamus versus Damian Priest has potential to be a fun match.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
What is he talk? What is this guy talking about? Is he talking? Is this about Mike Zero or what's Miss Randolph? What is
I don't
this?
know. I don't know. I don't
What's the
know.
problem here, Fred?
I don't know.
Hey,
But it
Fred, if
always
you got
seems
a
to be
problem,
you.
speak
It
up.
always that's what's funny. It always seems to be you. You're
What did
always the
I do?
one.
What did I do? What did I do?
I really don't know. But hey, we may have this as maybe they'll bring back bar wrestling and we'll have this type of a match for you against somebody else.
Now I want a match with Fred Willard and Bunda right now. I'll take him in. You go to Sites and Bachelor Writers articles. I mean, what are you talking about? Do you have a specific example? Like, what is this nonsense?
I don't know. That's out of my hands on this one, but we'll go
on. Is that I don't go on Twitter and Facebook and go around doing what I'm not even going to say their names, but if you want that kind of trash, I'm not even going to say them, but they're all over Twitter and social media. So yeah.
Yeah, and we don't go into that in here on This Week in Pro Wrestling, nor in 411 Mania or any place else that we both either work. So yeah, so I don't know. But either way, let's continue with what's next after Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. What's the next on the card?
Okay, Edge versus Seth Rollins. This is a featured matchup. Seth Rollins cost Edge in his Universal title matchup against Roman Reigns. The build up to this match, I think, hasn't been terrible. So again, we have a good SmackDown match feud here. I mean, as good as you can expect now these days in WWE. So I'm not too disappointed with this matchup and how they built it up. And I think Edge and Seth Rollins could have a really cool, fun match here.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting match. I think that match is going to be fun, something worth looking at, something worth seeing how it's going to play out, because it's Edge is already at his prime. He's already, how many more years does Edge really have left? And I think Seth Rollins is still the future, and he has a long career. If I'm going between the two, I'll personally see Seth Rollins winning, because I think the Edge thing and where they were pushing him is already done. But I'm going to go with Seth Rollins.
I think for the sake of long-term development, you got to put over Seth Rollins, but I'm not sure if this is the first match in an ongoing feud, like is one with Orton, where they're going to trade wins and losses, or is it going to be a one-off or what? And how many more matches does Edge have left in him, or how many does he have left this year?
Yeah, exactly.
This will probably be the best match of the night. Excuse me. Rollins wins. I think this is one rare occurrence where I could agree with Bunda. I think this could be the best match of the night.
Yeah.
Edge is a talented veteran. He knows how to work a big matchup, and Seth Rollins is no slouch in the ring either. Who do I think is going to win though? I'm picking Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and I agree with Bunda as well. This may be the best match of the night, and may actually play out very well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I agree. Rollins is going to win. Rollins is going to take it for the win. So next,
let's see here. For the SmackDown Women's title, it'll be Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks came back, turned heel, turned on Bianca Belair, and now she wants the SmackDown Women's title back that Bianca Belair beat her for at WrestleMania, which they headlined the first night. So both women have been off TV for a little bit for a couple shows. They were not on SmackDown last week due to unforeseen circumstances. The reports indicate they will be cleared and ready to go for this Saturday night, and they're still being advertised. So I would assume they are going to wrestle, and they will be cleared to wrestle on Saturday. Who is going to win, though? Well, what do you think, Mike? Who do you have here?
Okay. I have to go for my personal, like, if it's my personal choice, you already know who I'm going to pull for.
I probably do.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah, okay. Why?
I got to pull for her. Well, I think it'd be an interesting take into it, but I also have some interest over the last couple of weeks as I've seen Bianca Belair wrestle. There's some things that I've seen, and I don't know if it's her opponent or her, but sometimes the moves are fluid. As other
do you think she won the title too soon?
I think so. I think so, and I think this is a way they're gonna take the title from her. She still will be in the picture eventually, but I think it's just I think right now, with the way after coming and they're doing more live events, I think giving the belt to Sasha will make more sense. And after we go through the card, I have a couple predictions of what I think is going to happen.
This is a tough call. I'm going to go ahead and pick Bianca just because I feel like Sasha, she was away from WWE for a while, and I feel like she could be going away again soon.
Yeah.
And I could see Bianca Belair losing the belt soon, but I don't think it's going to be to Sasha. Okay. And I think I'm picking Bianca Belair to win.
Awesome. Well, let's go into the gallery for comments, and we got Bunda. Sasha's going to win this. Bianca thing just isn't good, although Bianca is all over the advertising. My only thing, I like Bianca.
Bianca is good, so Bunda's wrong there.
And like Bunda there. But I do see things in Bianca's wrestling where I have questions. And I don't know if it's her opponent or it's her, but I've seen in the technical side that there's been some hiccups over the last couple weeks.
Well, she got the fast track to the main event scene rather quickly, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She didn't even get a run with the NXT Women's title when she was on the NXT roster. Right. So she won the Women's Royal Rumble, and then she won the title. But she is a good worker. Mm-hmm. She is charismatic, and she's probably one of the best athletes on the roster between the men and the women.
And I agree with you on that. Athletically, she's definitely there athletically.
Right.
My only thing is that when she's in the ring and sometimes when she's doing technical holds or I have seen her like be a little sloppy over the last like month or month and a half.
You know, Sasha Banks had a lot of those same complaints early in her career.
Yeah, exactly. Frankly. And that's why I think maybe taking the belt off of her and her working on those a little bit more, because she is young still. She just barely broke into the main roster last year, I believe.
Young in the sport, I guess. But she's 30. Exactly. She's 32. I mean, she's young-ish.
Mm-hmm. But
not trying to be ageist here.
Yeah, but also too with Sasha, she's going to be. I'm sure she's returning for season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah, smart money would suggest that, don't you think?
Yeah, exactly. And
so
who knows when they start shooting that?
September is what they're saying. I think Carl Weathers even said September is at a convention. So if she pops up again as one of the members of Bo-Katan Kreese's gang, you would think she's going to be needed for filming sooner rather than later. So yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and pick Bianca, and I think Bianca will lose the title maybe around the WWE draft or later on, but I don't think it's going to be to Sasha. Okay, here we go. For the SmackDown Tag Team titles, it'll be the Usos defending against Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Seems they've been teasing some dissent between Rey and Dominic lately, and they might, I don't know what's going on there, if there's going to be a breakup between father and son, but I think it's academic here that the Usos retain. But what do you think?
My thing is, like, how long has this been going on between Usos and the Mysterios? It seems like it's been going on every friggin' week since WrestleMania. And I'm just like, I'm hoping that is true and that there is dissent within the family, and that they're gonna split up, and they're gonna have Dominic go his own way, and let's see what happened to Rey. But I'm just like, one, I think the Usos are gonna win, plain and simple. They're not gonna give away the belts, especially with this head of the table thing and what they want to set up for next year's WrestleMania. I don't think they're losing the belts. It's just, I don't know what this thing is going to be like and how they're gonna do this with Rey Mysterio and everything, because I think the time has come for them to see what's going on with it. What are your thoughts?
I think the Usos are going to win, and I don't know if they're going to turn Dominic heel, but the Usos are going to win, and they're going to. It's going to be because there's heat or dissent between Rey and Dominic, basically.
Yeah. Sorry, got to do some moderating right now while we're. We'll go on to the next one. What's the next topic? Next match.
Okay. Oh God. Oh my God. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. So we have the 54-year-old Goldberg wrestling for the WWE title on pay-per-view at SummerSlam. I don't understand this at all. And if Lashley doesn't win, I will eat a hat. Like, I will literally eat a hat with a side of catsup.
Yeah. And sorry about that. I'm moderating our chat room, and this is the way we get
some trolls.
Yeah, we have some trolls coming in, so I'm sorry about that for that coming up. I have to moderate it, and I'm trying to do two things at once because we'd only have me moderating. So let's get into this. Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley's going to win. I don't know why. And
it shouldn't even be thinking. Like, that's the only thing that should happen.
Because here's
the only option.
Like, here's the thing. I like Goldberg back about when he was younger and he was wrestling and everything like that. Even the last time Now, this is the time for Bobby Lashley. He's worked. He put in the work. He's done what he's done. Lashley is gonna it's gonna be a quick match.
The word is that Goldberg has 2 matches a year that he works, and he already lost one earlier this year to Drew McIntyre. So if you have him win, like what do you even do if he were to win? Like, that would be a nightmare scenario for just everyone. Plus, look, Goldberg cannot. If this match goes over 3 minutes, it'll be a miracle. Frankly, it might not. The match going over like 2 to 3 minutes might be a bad thing for the audience. Frankly, but honestly, the match. I don't know what's going on with Brock Lesnar, but the match that should have happened here is Lashley versus Lesnar. This match holds no interest to me. It's not. Look, maybe the fans will like it for the nostalgia factor, but this match for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam on pay-per-view, it's a tough sell for me. I'm sorry. And that's just me being honest.
And before I go into my next little bit of comment, I want to bring in a comment in from Bunda. Lashley is going to win. You can't have a Goldberg hold that belt till Mania. And I agree with him on that. But what I was going to say is that with Lashley, it's like I would have Lesnar versus Lashley would have been amazing, and I think that would have been something somebody would want to see. Lashley versus Goldberg at this point, no. It's going to be a quick match. It's going to show him being dominant and how dominant Lashley is. Because, dude, he is a big guy. He's a muscular guy. He's athletic. I think it's Lashley hands down.
I think a lot of the bad. I think I think the downfall of the Fiend really started with that loss to Goldberg in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of bad booking for the Fiend, but I don't think he ever recovered from having to lose the belt in like a 2-minute nothing match with Goldberg at a Saudi Arabia show. And I mean, I think maybe putting the belt on the Fiend, I don't know if that was the best move at that time, but I don't think he should have even been wrestling the title for Seth Rollins so quickly. But they did that, and then he won the title, and then they booked Goldberg to beat him, and then I don't want that to happen to Lashley, because Lashley his career has been through a lot, and he's come out on the other side of it okay. And I do not want to see that end here with a loss to Goldberg. So the only thing that should happen here is a Lashley win. Okay, so we have a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title. Nikki, almost a superhero. Excuse me. Nikki Ash versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Nikki Ash just lost twice on Raw last week. Now she has to put her title up for grabs at SummerSlam against two former champions, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So does the underdog come out of this on top, Mike?
By the way things look, no. Like I just don't like the way they've been building this up, especially with Nikki Ash, that name, ASH, almost a superhero. That whole gimmick and the whole thing that they've been pushing out hasn't been developed well and hasn't put out there well. I don't know, like if they do have her lose, like we just got in the comment by Boone that Nikki Ash is going to win, although Charlotte should win this match. It's like you would think with how much she's lost the last 2 weeks that she would lose this match. Normally, like in any MMA or boxing or any type of other sport, you would expect her because there's no momentum going into this match. But I have a feeling you may be right, and I think Bunda was right.
I think the WWE logic. Mm-hmm. I think the logic here is like when Rey Mysterio was doing his main event title run. Remember back in like 2006?
Yeah.
Where they have him lose on TV all the time to make it look like he has no chance in hell of winning. Then he pulls it out at the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what they're doing with Nikki, even though she is the champion right now, and she should not be losing this much. I think she is going to just scrape out a win. Maybe she capitalizes on Charlotte and Rhea Ripley's rivalry, and she somehow just barely by the scrape of her teeth, but I think she is going to win. But look, I know supposedly this is all Nikki's character and gimmick that she came up with. I'm sorry, this character doesn't work. The promos don't work. Can someone please can you explain this whole almost a superhero thing? Like, I almost beat you, I almost did it. Like, who cares that you can almost beat someone? If you're like a prize fighter, if you're a WWE superstar, who cares if you almost do it? What does almost a superhero even mean, Mike?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure out this whole character the whole time, because let's be honest here. Between the three of them, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair, who's the hottest superstar right now between the three?
I mean,
I would think Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. Charlotte, yes.
And you would think Charlotte would get the belt, build up a thing where Rhea Ripley wants to go back and try and win her belt back, and have it be like that. And maybe
have Charlotte beat Ric Flair's title record, because that always drives everyone nuts.
Exactly, and that's what they're gonna. And you would think that's what would happen. But the Nikki ASH, I can't even roll off the tongue. Nikki ASH, her care. It's almost like it's a buffer. We gave her the Money in the Bank contract. She cashed it in. We gave her the belt. She's happy because she finally got to that level. She finally has the title belt. Now let's take it back.
Here's another big question: is Becky Lynch going to show up on TV tomorrow?
And that's what I was going to bring in as well, because I think this is the
Okay.
perfect match to bring it up. Charlotte should break that record at Mania, and I agree with Bunda on that one. And I think it should be against if you're going to do anything, I think Becky Lynch. For some reason, I have a feeling Becky Lynch is coming back, especially if what happens tonight on Dynamite happens.
Okay.
I mean, not Dynamite, Rampage. If what
Rampage,
happens
yeah.
tonight at Rampage, I wouldn't be shocked at all if you see Becky Lynch return, and they're going to start a feud between Charlotte and Becky Lynch.
According to Bunda, Charlotte should break that record at Mania. I don't think there's enough time. Unless they do multiple title changes between now and Mania, because WWE
14, doesn't she already?
No, 12, because WWE isn't they're not counting NXT.
They're not?
No, they're only counting Raw and SmackDown. So let's see how many Charlotte has between SmackDown and Raw. Because I think she has 2 NXT titles. Okay, so let's see here. Raw Women's Title 5, SmackDown Women's Title 5, NXT Women's 2, Divas Champion 1. So she has 10 between Raw and SmackDown, 2 with the women's and NXT, and 1 with the Divas. So I don't know if they're counting all those. So Flair's, you can debate how many Flair actually has, but the one they typically go by with Flair is 16, right? 16 times. So does Charlotte have 10, 12, or 13? Supposedly she only has 10. They're only counting Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. We got some comments coming in. Although no one is talking about Rhea in this match, so WWE could pull that card. And I think that's a good idea. And I think that brings up some good thoughts and some good ideas, because a lot of people are talking Charlotte and Nikki Ash. I mean, even we're not talking about a Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley could be a part of that as well. For some reason, I thought it was 14. What if they do that? What do you think about that?
Rhea Ripley? I don't think she's going to win. I think if anyone wins, it's going to be Charlotte. But I'm picking Nikki to win.
Yeah.
Now, according to PWI Insider, the man is not in the plans to show up on SummerSlam on Saturday night, and probably won't be back until October.
Okay. So this will be more for setting up for Survivor Series,
or the WWE draft shakeup time.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it would. I mean, I guess it depends on what WWE is counting for the title reigns and what they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Finally, we have our main event. Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal title. John Cena back in the main event on pay-per-view, and he's been cheered more than ever. You know, Cena, when he was in his heyday, you know, fans were very mixed on him. Now he's facing a heel Roman Reigns, and the fans are behind him 100% against Roman Reigns. I think the heel turn works for Roman Reigns, and I guess it's good to have Cena back for the most part. And yeah,
exactly. And I think between Roman Reigns and John Cena, I think there's 2 scenarios that could happen. One, I think Roman Reigns is going to win. He'll keep the belt because they're going to keep this momentum. But it may be 2 scenarios. That's one of them. The second scenario being that John Cena wins the belt, holds it for a couple weeks, and then he wins it back in the next pay-per-view. That could go either way as well. But I really do think they're trying to build up on this Roman Reigns thing very, very much.
I
So
think Roman Reigns is going to win.
yeah.
Cena, supposedly Cena is going to be at Madison Square Garden on September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it would be shocking and surprising if Cena won.
Yeah.
So you can never discount shock factor and surprise 100%. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to pick that though. So I'm picking Roman Reigns to win, and I think Roman is going to hold the title until WrestleMania because the expectation is there will be a big showdown with The Rock at that time.
Yeah. I agree.
So you're also picking
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns to win this.
Yes.
So that is our SmackDown 2021 card. Overall, I think it's a good card, especially on the SmackDown side. I think the SmackDown side has the best matchups for tomorrow, and those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. And I think Roman Reigns and Cena maybe it won't be match of the night, but I think it will be a good match.
Exactly. And we have some comments here. Here's the thing.
Okay.
All Cena does is come in and cut a promo and leave. Champion has to perform on TV. No way he wins this match. And I kind of agree with him on that because nowadays, like with this one, what they want to build with Roman Reigns, you have to be on TV every friggin' week now. And I'm sure Cena has another movie coming up.
Cena does have another movie coming up, but he is going to be in Madison Square Garden, I think. What show is that going to be? Madison Square Garden on September 10th. Let's look at the calendar.
Yeah.
I think that's a TV taping.
I think it is. I think it's SmackDown, isn't it?
So let's see.
Maybe.
So the
That's on
10th
a
of
Friday.
September. Yeah, that's on a Friday.
Mhm.
So that'll be at Madison Square Garden in New York.
Yeah.
I just don't think he would win the title and drop it again in Madison Square Garden. If this was the Attitude Era, I could maybe see that happening, but not now.
Yeah.
And I think the idea is just to, continue building up Roman Reigns as the ultimate bad guy. And eventually, if they can make it happen, they're going to bring in The Rock to face him. But yeah.
Exactly. And that'll be for WrestleMania. And now let's go into the next topic. What are we going to be talking about next?
Oh, okay. So Rampage tonight. Are we going to see CM Punk tonight? I guess that's a question. That's what everyone's expecting.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen tonight and if it's going to be CM Punk or not. And that's the thing. I think we are going to see something because he is in Chicago. He's been saying that.
He's been hinting at it.
Exactly.
On social media.
Exactly. He's been hinting in it. He said that we may be having a special screening of Heels tonight in the same type of thing. And yeah, I think we may see him. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna have him in AEW, but let's see what he does.
Okay, so we have Jurassic Express versus Private Party. It is a AEW World Tag Team title, Eliminator Tournament semifinal. Kiera Hogan versus Jade Cargill, and Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. Good little lineup here. Obviously the main attraction is who, but I think I could see Private Party winning that match because Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus just lost to the Young Bucks. Jade Cargill will beat Kiera Hogan, and Jon Moxley will beat Daniel Garcia. But Daniel Garcia has impressed a lot of people in a short amount of time. So I think he's definitely earning his stripes.
Exactly. I think Daniel Garcia is a good
Bunda, I hope CM Punk comes out tonight and all of wrestling Twitter goes crazy because it's going to fizzle out in a month or two. We'll see. We'll see, Bunda.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But it's an interesting card for this last dance for tonight.
Speaking of which, apparently there is rumor that AEW has a third major acquisition. This comes from the Observer newsletter by Dave Meltzer. Sources close to AEW said a new major AEW acquisition is coming soon, after the alleged deals for CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. So CM Punk, Bryan Danielson supposedly going to AEW, and then there you go.
I think if Bryan Danielson is coming to AEW, it's going to be at that New York paper. The New York show they're going to have over there at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. I think that's when they'll introduce him. At the New
York show, and
yeah,
that one's in September, right?
Right.
I think that one's sold. I think that one's sold out.
Because when you look at the venues, if CM Punk does come out tonight, I mean, the United Center in Chicago is a big venue for them.
And they sold that out too.
Yeah, exactly. What does it tell you about AEW? I think AEW has.
They're doing well, even though the ratings have dropped a little bit. Not the viewership.
Yeah,
they fell below 1 million viewers the last couple of weeks after they were going up. But now, the ratings held steady, but they're at about 975,000 now. But this is Rampage, so I think they'll do because there's so much buzz and interest around possibly seeing CM Punk tonight, they'll do a good number tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing, like, I think I'm curious to see when they come out to the West Coast, because we still haven't seen them come out to the West Coast yet.
They've come out to Nevada.
Are they going to be going out to Nevada?
Well, they did Double or Nothing in Nevada.
Oh, yeah, that's as close. Las Vegas.
I was there.
But we haven't seen any events in California yet, or again in Seattle. So I'm curious to see what it does.
I think if they were to go to the Staples Center, I think they could draw a good number. Or if they went to the Walter Pyramid, they could easily sell that out. Or the Long Beach Arena. I think they could probably sell out the Long Beach Arena, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I would think that would get I think they'll get a different venue.
Who do you think this third major name is?
I don't know.
Who could it be?
I really do not know.
Would it be Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, or would it be Brock Lesnar?
Now that's an interesting comment from Bunda. If CM Punk comes out tonight and AEW doesn't break 1 million rating, 1 million viewers, it will show how it's pretty or how.
Bunda, let me ask you a question. What if CM Punk does come out tonight and it breaks 1 million viewers on Rampage? Then what do you say?
Well, it could go either way, to be honest.
The number last week was over 700,000. And keep in mind, they're at a 10 o'clock time slot on a Friday night that airs after SmackDown. So,
and that's the one thing I don't with Rampage, AEW Rampage. I think it was a bad slot. I think it's a bad slot, and I think 10 o'clock is a little too late. What are your thoughts? Continue about the time slot on Rampage.
I don't think it's a bad slot because it's a 1 hour show, and they don't want to. I mean, there's something on every night right now because you have NXT on Tuesday, you have Raw. So you have Raw on Monday, NXT Tuesday, Dynamite Wednesday, Thursday's Impact, and then Friday's SmackDown. So I think you got to make do with what you have, and you don't want it on Saturday or Sunday because those are pay-per-view days. So that's just how it is.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's a day, really. I think it's just a time slot. 10 p.m. You're looking at East Coast, West Coast. It just seems a little too late for me.
Okay. And then what is going on? What is going on with SmackDown right now? Let's see.
I know. I think you have more of the East Coast feed because here in LA. Well, for me, if you have charter cable here in LA, you're getting the Spanish feed right now.
Right.
And I usually watch the Spanish feed because I have other things.
Well, if you found the show and you're watching the show right now, thank you. And I will be covering SummerSlam tomorrow. So check out at 411 Wrestling and my own Twitter, which is at WillJack83.
Exactly. And then it's going to be there's going to be some good coverage Jeffrey's going to bring. So definitely check it out if you're watching the show right now. So what's going on with SmackDown right now? Are you able to pull the feed or?
I'm not pulling the feed. I'm looking at the live results.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Rey Mysterio versus Jey Uso, Kevin Owens versus Baron Corbin, Tamina and Natalia versus Shotzi and Shotzi and Knox are on SmackDown. Remember?
Yeah.
Montez Ford versus Otis, Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, and Bianca Belair versus Zelina Vega. So I think so that's what's going on tonight on SmackDown. I don't want to, for the people who haven't watched it yet and are on the West Coast, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but that's kind of the rundown so far. And here's the latest thing from CM Punk.
Because the show's on in about East Coast feed. It'll be on in 30 minutes for Rampage.
Okay, so CM Punk put something on his Instagram story. It's the cover artwork for Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. So, kind of hinting, it's The Dark Knight Returns with CM Punk, basically.
Yeah,
I think the analogy is pretty obvious here.
I think we're gonna see him come out tonight. So we're hitting that. I know today. Usually we go.
You
on
like sports, Michael? Wow,
huh?
I didn't know you like sports, Michael.
Oh, I do like sports. I used to work in professional sports, so there you go. And played baseball all the way up to.
What's wrong? Well, what's wrong with covering wrestling? What's wrong with chatting about wrestling? I love wrestling. A lot of people like wrestling.
Wrestling is a sport, no matter which way
exactly.
you look at it. It's entertainment and sports, and it's a fun thing to talk about. But we're getting into that lovely time because we're only set an hour for today because Jeffrey has some work to do and go on to SummerSlam Superstore and see what they have and see what's going on. Jeffrey, how could they find you?
At Wheeljack83, 411 Wrestling to check out my coverage. Also, my podcast, the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play.
Awesome. And you could always find me here on MUSE TV. We have some great things coming up, big announcements happening, and especially for next month. We weren't able to make the announcement that we wanted to because of I had a dental surgery. So there we go. And so we're going to be doing some new things, changing up some stuff over the next couple of months. And I hope we could be a part of that because it's a really cool thing. We're actually expanding and growing. So it's always good. But so we will see you next time here on the This Week in Pro Wrestling podcast. And we are out.